All right, so from your sketch, let me go back to that.
Well, actually, that's their sketch.
No, I mean, from the one you sent me the other day, or
Right.
earlier. And I'll pop that up so I can refer to it and let's get that bigger. Okay. So you've got those three edges that are tangent around that arc. And you got 0.205 that starts at the intersection. But what we need to be able to then go to find where the tangent line goes, we need this point. Let me see, hold on a second.
By the way, let me ask you a question while I've got you here.
All right.
I went to the snap mode and I write, no, that's not it.
Yeah, choose settings if you want to.
Oh,
No, go right where you are there. The second, come down 3 lines. And right there, those tabs go to the entity snaps. Right there. There you go. And see, there's a tangent snap. There you go.
now there was somewhere else I went. Let me ask you, let me just find this again.
All right. Now, when you do that, what you're looking at right there, that
Yeah.
snaps, you need to turn that off because that's going to lock you into individual grid spots. Come over to the left. Keep coming to the left over here.
No, I'm looking for something here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay, here. This one, if I clicked on this and clicked tangent,
Yep. It's only for that one click.
it says unable to recognize command tangent. Please try again.
Yeah, that's because when you do it from that menu, that is only to be used if it's in response to asking for a point. You're not asking for a point, but if you start to draw a line or a polyline,
Okay,
and then it's asking for a point, then when you choose it, it will go into that mode.
okay.
All right.
Okay, so what do you want me to turn off now? This one?
Right there, yes. There you go. Because that'll lock you into those grid settings, like every 5 feet or whatever the settings are set to. So like if you were an architect drawing buildings on a 30-foot grid, you could set up a 30-foot grid spacing and everything locks to the nearest grid spot.
Now, I'm a little bit concerned about, I mean, they want this to be precisely 165 feet from where the tower is going up, which is what the county requirement is. But I'm not confident that they can build the tower where they say they're going to build it that accurately. But I guess I just have to live with that.
Yeah, I mean, for right now, it's not built yet, right? So you're showing them where it's supposed to be, and all you can do is say 160-foot diameter.
Well, they showed me where it's supposed to be. They put a stake in and they said this is the tower site. Right.
So you surveyed that spot and then you put a circle 160-foot radius around
right.
that.
And they have negotiated with the developer who owns the 170 acres or whatever it is around there. And I guess the developer wanted a high price per acre, so they're trying to minimize the amount of land that they're actually buying.
Right. Okay. All right, so let me, I'll go ahead in case I need to show you something on the screen, I'll request. All right, so, yes, all right. So we will have this starting point at 205, but we need something to either set this point so we can go from there, or we need to know the point over here that comes in to set that first tangent line.
Over where?
can you see where my mouse is pointing right in here?
Yeah, I see it now. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I had to click it. So we either need this point over here or this point over here.
Okay, well, the point coming up perpendicular from 205, I can just scale that off the drawing.
Yeah,
And
if that's a certain distance and if it's perpendicular at 205, then that gets us started.
It's 20 feet.
Okay,
So,
all right, so the easiest way to do that then is to just draw a polyline and just you go ahead and draw your 2D polyline. And then just click out here somewhere like right in here in space, up above the 205. Just click anywhere there, just arbitrarily click. And now you want to hold the shift key and right click or press the left mouse button on the snaps icon. You want to snap perpendicular to that line.
the left mouse key.
Or no, shift right mouse or left click on the O snaps icon in the status bar.
Okay, I think I already messed it up. Better do it again.
There we go, yeah. All right, so just click a spot. And then either go up to the toolbar and grab the perpendicular. That'll work too. Yeah, there you go. Click. And then click the yellow line. And then we'll change the length of that line to 20 feet. And then we'll move it to 205. So go ahead and pick that line. All right, so now enter to finish. And you have a line or a polyline that's of whatever length, but it is perpendicular to that line. That's what we were after. So now
Right.
let's make the length 20 feet. And so we're going to do that by choosing, well, we can't change it there
Okay.
by properties, but if you go to the polyline toolbar up at the very top on the rightmost, and it's the leftmost icon in there where it says extend by distance. One more to the left, right there. Click. And click near one of the ends of the line you just drew. All right, now that little pointer shows, all right, that's where it's going to adjust. Now down below, you have all those options at
Right.
the command line. You want to
Yeah.
type T for total and then 20. Okay, hit enter to finish. Now you're going to move that polyline. So just select it and choose move. And you want to grab the endpoint that's down there at the 205. All right, endpoint. No, let's see. I think you got something else running here. Let me see. Let's escape that. Let's turn these. I want to turn this off for the moment. You've got that endpoint. Okay, so there we go. All right, so now try it again. You're going to move. Okay, now just pick, no, well, here, move it out over in here somewhere like right there all right. So now we're going to take that, we're going to select it, and then we'll right click, move, And then I'm going to grab, see that endpoint shows up. So now endpoint, and now you want to move it to where 0.205 is, and say you don't have your point snaps on. So we're going to go to the shift right click point. We're going to snap to the point. All right, so there we are at 205. All right, so now that starts us off, okay?
Okay.
So now we're going to do a 2D polyline again. I'm gonna let you drive. All right, and just hit OK. And now one of the options down below says C for continue. That's what we want to do. So we'll just C. And then pick closer to the free endpoint up there. There you go, like that. And now you're going to either from the toolbar or shift right click, choose tangent. And now point to the circle. There you go, click. Now hit enter to finish. Now we've got that one going. That's the point of tangency from the end of that 20-foot line. Where
Okay.
that's going to come up. Now we need to establish, what goes across the top, is that parallel to the
Property line.
property line?
Yeah.
And
I just drew it up there and I made it 165 feet from here perpendicular. So,
well, yeah, you could have just offset that line 160 feet and that would have been the same thing. How did you create that line? How, like, if you zoomed in real tight, how sure are you that it's tangent there? See, it's not.
I'm not sure. I think I moved it away a little bit just to be safe.
Right.
I did.
All right. So, so what I would do is, since that's going to be parallel to that line, I would let's draw a 2D polyline from 203 to 205. And you can just use the numbers. Okay, so just hit enter, say 203 to 205, enter to finish. Okay, now we're going to move that line. So we're going to select it and then choose move. And click on let's choose the midpoint. Let's shift right click, choose midpoint. And point to the red line that you just drew. Okay, click. Now, where you want to put it is where point number 9 is. So you need to shift right click and choose insert or point, either one, but insert would be my preference. And then just point to the description on the block. Oops, no, go up. There you go, right there. Point to the yellow triangle. There. Okay, so now that's going exactly through point number 9, and it's exactly parallel to that property line. Now go up to the top and erase that top line, that one there, okay? And just delete it. Now we're going to offset this line 160 feet. Will that do it? No, well, yes, that'll do it, I think. Yeah, whatever the distance is, yeah. Now pick that line and go up to the other side up there. Okay, so that's now 165 feet away. So that's coming in tangent. So that establishes that line. You can erase well, hit enter to finish. And then you can erase that one. Okay. Now, what sets the other?
Well, there's another point here, and then their drawing shows it going. Well, it doesn't even show it tangent to the circle. It just shows it coming out. There's a tangent line from there to this line, and then
Well, you got, what is that, 26 feet? That-
well, it's plus or minus 26 feet. So that's it's got to. It's supposed to be tangent to the circle.
Oh, okay. Again,
line-
parallel to that.
Yes, parallel to this property line.
Okay, so let's erase or let's
Delete
erase
this.
that. Yeah, delete that one. And let's draw 203 to 206 or whatever that one is. And hit enter. And now we want to, let's see how we're going to do this one. We basically need the we need the maximum distance the circle is from the line that will find that tangent point. And that would be like, I don't think we can do this. Let me see if we if we
Can't do it the same way.
well, we don't know what that distance is. It's 26 feet plus or minus.
Well, no, but we know that the distance is 165 feet from.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't realize that was the case. Okay, so now, yeah, move it back to 0.9. Now, before we do that, let me fix something for you here. If you go to settings, let's turn on this point object snap. I'll show you how that's going to help you. Now, go ahead and select that line that you just drew. And let's move it. And you're going to go from the midpoint of it. So shift right click or pick it from the toolbar, either one. There you go, click. Now just point to any part of that point, like the LOC on the description. Yeah, see where it goes to point number 9? Click. Yeah, click that. Now offset that 165 feet or whatever it is. Okay, now you can hit enter to finish and erase the original. All right, so now you've got that far right one, and now you need to get, there's another one that comes tangent between that upper one and this one on the right, correct?
Yes, in here.
All right, so now we need something that sets, like the point on the sketch that's the far right point where that line starts. Is that supposed to be also 20 feet off of that upper line or what?
No, you can see that they've drawn it poorly. Their arc doesn't meet there at the bottom where it has the 2 points. I think it's supposed to be well, I don't know, actually.
Yeah, because we have to be able to establish one of these 2 points. The on this. Yeah, see, because this,
You mean either the point up here or the
well,
point?
let me show you what I'm talking about. See, there is, you know, whatever form this is going to take, there's an infinite number of parallel of lines that are tangent to the arc through here. So it could either be like this, or it could be rotated around, you know, whatever point in here.
I don't think they care that much. I think we could just do it arbitrarily and then just trim these lines and make a point there and make a point there as long as that line is tangent.
Well, then if you want a good basis, I would do this. I would say 203 to 205 again. And let's offset that 20 feet. And then you could extend these. I'll give it a big enough gap. I will fill it rate to 0. All right, so now there's that. I'm going to come over here, get rid of this. All right, so now if we draw, I will let you do this now, draw a 2D polyline. And what I just did, Mike, is I put that point also 20 feet up off of that line, just like
Okay.
at 205. All right, so now you're going to draw from the end point, that one that we just established, just northeast of that, right there, click. And you're going to snap to the tangent of the circle. So either from the toolbar or shift right click.
Where's the toolbar that says tangent?
Right there. Click, and that's just for this one pick. Click, hit enter, and you're done. All right, now all we need to do is to trim these off into their intersections. Okay. So,
okay.
So now that's looking like it's at a steeper angle than what they sketched. So maybe our 20 foot wouldn't be what we wanted necessarily. We could also, if we did this, we did something like this from here. And that would be like that. But that puts that point straight out across just a projection of the property line.
Yeah, and that isn't the way they have it shown.
Yeah, they have it shown up a bit. So I'm gonna take out this segment here. So you know, it's really, like I said, there's an infinite number of lines that meet that solution.
Yeah, I don't think they care that much.
All right.
Their only critical distance that they were worried about was 165 feet.
Okay. So if you want to keep that same distance off that 20 feet, then that would work there. So what we have to do now is to trim all of these things back to their respective corners.
Okay, so we need to get rid of this one entirely, right?
Yes. So go ahead and get rid of that one. And now go back to that join nearest, which is the third button on the polylines toolbar, or it's on edit menu. No, not snap, join nearest. It's a command.
Okay, I don't know where that is.
All right, it's this toolbar, right? It's this button right here, or it's under edit, join nearest.
Okay.
Now, the key to this is you want to make sure that this gap is big enough to accommodate the gaps that are out here. So I'm just going to pick, and I'm going to just, give it a screen. I look at that and I say that's big enough to cover this gap and this
Yeah.
gap here. So I'll live with that. And then the connection method we want to do is to make sure we fill it with a radius of 0. Now, you could also just use the standard fill it command. That would work too. But if you do this, this will take care of that. We'll say okay. And now you want to pick, and I'll let you do it. Pick the lines that are going to run into each other. So, excuse me. So click that one. Now click, wait a minute, before you click there, you want to make sure you click on the part that you want to keep. You see the part, if you clicked too far to the right, it would form the point, but it would lose the part that you want to keep. So come back to the left of the circle of the tangent point. Right in there. Yeah, like that. Okay. There you go. Now come down and grab the other one that's down below as well. That one there. And now hit enter. That should take care of it. There you go.
Okay.
So now everything's tangent and you're 20 feet, 20 feet. There's a sort of a parallel offset, if that will suffice for them. The only thing that I look at is that in their sketch, if they're expecting that, you see the point where the blue property line comes down and hits that corner, you may be closer. There's the gray line, looks like maybe an existing line. So where you have found this point right here might be too far to the west.
I don't think so, but I'm gonna, before I draw the plat, I'm gonna send them this sketch
Yeah.
and say, is this what you had in mind?
Yeah. And so the only other thing is if you were to ever, if you were to ever say, take this to a different spot, let's say maybe pull it down here, we don't have any basis for anything there other than,
It's no longer tangent though.
right. But that's so then what we would do there is do this and go from here, make it tangent. And then that would, I'll go ahead and, you can see the results of this. I'll just do that one for now. So see, that pulls this point further back to the east. So it just, whatever sets that. Now I'm going to undo that we just did. I think that'll do it. And oops, no, I got a few more to do here. Let's see and do. There we go. So again, that basis is that this point is 20 feet up off of 203 or off of this line. So these two corner points are exactly parallel to this property line, if that helps any at all.
Right.
Like you say, they probably don't care, but it also looks like they're showing it to be on that adjoiner line. Are those adjoiner lines?
No.
Okay.
No, there are no, this is all one big piece of property.
Yeah, I mean, those gray lines that had the X's in them.
I don't know what they are. They're not out there. There's nothing of record that indicates.
Okay. Yeah, they weren't fences or adjoiner lines or anything like that. Okay.
No.
Because we're definitely not where that lines up with on the sketch, but we're a little high for it.
Yeah.
Now, do you have that? Well, you don't even, that's a piece of paper. I see. That's not even they didn't send you a file.
No.
Okay.
That would have been nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you could
They
have laid
could
it in
send
there.
me DWG.
Well, they could even just send you if it were a flattened out. So see, that came from something that came from probably somebody else's CAD system. They could have sent you that, or at least sent you a PDF that you could have laid in there and scaled, but still. But that's the way you do that. You've got to establish, what we had to establish was this point right here off of 205. You knew that was 20 feet. That was, and it was perpendicularly off of there. Then we had to go over to here and we had to establish this point, and that's the only unknown right now, and that lets this leg right here float.
Right.
You know, if we had that tied down better, that'll change that. But if that's arbitrary and they don't care, if they're really just trying to get an enclosing box around this circle, then you're pretty well taken care of there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, let me see the other. What else could we? You could make these, if these individual segments. Let me change that. Let me see not this, but let's go to this drawing inspector. That I just want to look at polyline data. All right, so that is 120.682, that segment. That segment is 124.684. And that one's 137.266. You know, they could come in as, well, let's make them all 125 feet or whatever. Well, you could do that. Although not exactly. This 120.682, that's set because this point is set. The point of tangency is set, and this line up here being parallel to that yellow property line is set. You could make sure that it goes out to that same distance. Now, right now, it's actually longer than, so if you wanted to match that distance of 120.682, you would be pulling this point back in 4 feet, which would pull this point up higher. So, you know, maybe that's not the approach. Maybe,
I think the thing to do is just let them take a look at the sketch. When I met the engineer out there, he pretty much indicated that the only critical dimension was 165 feet.
Okay. Well, I think that would do you. You could throw you some dimensions on there if you needed to show him that, you know, the 20 footers and the 165 or whatever. But that pretty well takes care of it.
It does indeed. And I thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Let me just double check here. Let's see, that's all. Yep, that's all perfectly fine. Oh, we did those with offsets anyway. So yeah, they're guaranteed.
Right.
Okie doke. We'll save your work and have fun.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You bet. You need a video saved or not?
Sure.
Okay, I will post it.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sirree. Take care now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.